get rid of Betty, and I'm going to work with Meg. She's in my district too. I mean, I'm in her district too. So we're going to door knock and do a lot of work and just make sure that we win back, not just this seat, but also governor. Where's Mike Murphy back there, right? Our future governor. And we're going to have to not just win the governor's race, AG, but also we need to flip the House, and we need to grow in the Senate. And we flip the House starting with my race, 40B, right? So I'm going to start with a different story here that I'm going to talk about, because we're going to, of course, reduce taxes, voter ID, all those issues are important. But I just want to bring a different story here today. Is that, do you guys know what's happening in Shanghai right now? Like, right? Because with that extreme COVID lockdown, that there's people jumping out of buildings, people died from starvation, all because of public health. And they can do that. I figured, how come they can do that to their citizens just like that? They're literally killing them. It's like population control.
Tell them what they're doing.
Well, they're locking people into cages. I'm not kidding you. They put a big cage in front of an apartment building's gate so people cannot get out. And there's policemen who are dressed in all whites. They break into people's homes to drag people away into these, well, they call it hospital, but it's really a concentration camp. So, and people jump out of buildings because they're so hungry and they don't want to deal with it. And there's parents being separated from children, which you never hear about Democrats screaming about that, but there's parents who are separated from their children in the hospitals, and parents are trying to get COVID so they can stay with their children. So it's like that. But again, why do you think that the CCP government can do that? Is because, well, quite frankly, the Chinese citizens don't have guns. I mean, you don't think that Tim Walz do not want to do that to us? Of course he wants to do that to us. He wants to do this population control and control our rights, take away our freedom. The reason that he cannot do that is because we have guns and we can fight back. So that's why our Second Amendment is very important. So defend it with your life, because I know, I mean, I was ex-army, so I know how to shoot. When it comes to it, I'm ready. So again, so that's what's happening. And another thing I want to talk about, what's going on with the left from a different perspective. Because you know, during the Cultural Revolution under Mao, he used a term for people who know how to separate the oppressed and the oppressors. And he called that wokeism. So if you're woke enough, you know who's the oppressed, and you know who's the oppressor. So again, I feel like BLM or Antifa, they're reading Mao's little red book, because Antifa is acting just like the Red Guards. And they're trying to separate people based on everything. And also this feminist movements, Mao has also said that women are as strong as men, so trying to take women out of the family to do work. So kind of see that in the feminist movements too. So again, this socialism movement sweeping across the country, but we need to stand up to it. And because I'm not like one of the other guys, because I got so many friends moved to Florida. I mean, I still try to stay here because I feel that Minnesota is the worst saving, and we're going to fight it here. Okay, so Mary said another minute. So again, so well, some of my policies are, of course, reduce the taxes. I think we should take away our income taxes, just like Florida or Texas, right? Because we need to reduce the state government's size. I mean, did you guys know that Minnesota state government employs more people than 3M, Medtronic, Best Buy, or Target, or General Mills? I mean, these are global corporations, and yet our state government has more people working in their office. It's almost like the CCP. I mean, I'm just saying, because that's overbloated government always leads to corruption, and we already touched base on a lot of that with Ryan Wilson. So, I mean, that's pretty much for me. I can talk about my policies, or another one's voter ID. I strongly oppose people who vote when they died. So,
Yeah.
So again, my district is in. Yes. Yes, John.
How do we donate to you? You got a website? We can press the donate button?
Yep, I got flyers here. I'd love to give you a few. Let your friends. Everyone uses PCR, not the COVID test, but the check that we take from Waltz. So yes, you can go to Tim Waltz, ask him for money, and donate to my campaign. So make Waltz pay for my campaign. So yeah, Shen for MN.com. My flyers are on that bucket, so you can take a few. I got more. So check out my website. I built it my own. Yeah, I'm a website designer too. So questions or whatever.
You're done, Al.
Okay, I'm
You're
done.
done, Alan. It's Alan Shen, ShenForMN.com. Thank you, Alan. You will stick around.